All right, so welcome back to another driveway. Today we've got a couple little things, not anything big. We're just going to finish up putting this little fitting into the oil pan and then show you a bunch of stuff that I'm working on around here and see what you think of them. So stick around and let's get going. Alright, so like we left off before, got our oil pan, and since the turbo is going to be on this side of the engine, it'd probably be a good thing to get the drain for it somewhere along the lines. But, as you'll see here, we've got some minor issue in fitting it there. So here's where our problem is. It's not going to work here or anywhere along this edge because it needs to come in quite a ways. And we might be able, but it's just not going to quite work. And if you're wondering, this one does have a little longer end on it. It's actually designed for fuel, but it's like $4 cheaper, so if it can keep fuel out, it can keep oil out. But anyways, your other option would be bolting it back here, but then this guy has to bolt right in there. So we could still plug it in there. That's where our conundrum is. So maybe we can just mount it up front and then just put a right angle and go straight out. Like there's really nothing in here to get in the way. So that's probably what we'll end up having to do. All right. Well guys, we got that figured out, didn't we? All right. In the front nose it is. Alright, so we got our hole in there. So we just need to throw our fitting. I gunked it up with a little bit of RTV to help out the threads, but these little Teflon crush rings should hold it out anyways. But just kind of slide it all together. And we've got ourselves a fitting. That should be enough. Said to put it at 45 foot-pounds, so we'll just guesstimate that that's close enough. Alright, that's that. Should just barely be enough room. And we can just jack a fitting right on there. That should work. This is for a 10, so if a 10 locks on there pretty good, an even smaller one should be even better. So, that's good enough. That way we got that. Shouldn't interfere with the big pulley on the front because it sticks out quite a ways. So we should be good there. That way we're not wrapping all the way around trying to come in on this side and back where these two edges of the pan match. There just isn't enough room to get anything done. So that will have to be that. Now it's just a matter of bolting this thing down and it's good to go. So on to the next phase of today. We're going to show you what I have going on elsewhere. Alright, so I had mentioned that I was doing a bunch of work outside, and here's what I got going on. This used to be a raised flower bed across this entire section of the house and across in the front as well. We had that dug out. And one of the big reasons is I need to take a look at this corner here. So as you can tell, that brick section is not doing so well. So I needed to come in here and start addressing this. That, and it's never good to have a raised flower bed that comes up almost to your house. So the other fun part we have, let's see if we can. Yep, that's right. It's right over here. These bricks can move. So, what we're ending up with is there's all the weights on these jacked up corner and in the middle here, and it's going to continue to sink over time as the mortar disappears. And as you can see, plants from the flower bed are growing into the mortar and helping dissolve it even quicker. So in the future I'm going to have to redo sections of this foundation with something else, maybe even the whole foundation. But it's like someone made it in the about 1920 or so, so it's lasted 100 years. So no matter what I do to this thing, it should last another 100. But let's see, here's another section. This whole area you can tell the whole foundation section has moved in. It's supposed to be like even out here, a little bit under maybe, but we're quite a few inches in. It's like the stress of having that flower bed pressed up against it pretty much just pushed it in the hole. So that's another section we'll have to take care of. The other big benefit is these exhaust sections for the hot water heater and the furnace are now actually off the ground, whereas before they were maybe 2 or 3 inches off the ground. Then I'm going to have to fix these windows. I'm pretty much just going to fill them in, but for now I still want this window to have a little bit of access. So when I'm doing stuff in the basement, I can still bring things in and out. But gotta get rid of all this wood, because wood down on the ground level, not so good. So that's kind of what we got going on out here. Alright, so I'm just gonna call it here. This wasn't really much of a episode, but I pretty much just wanted to pose the thing to see if you guys would like to see some of these house remodel and stuff. I've shown some of it in the past, but just kind of wanted to throw that out there. If you guys are really only tuning in to see what I do to the Crossfire and this type of stuff, all cars all the time, feel free to let me know in the comments. But if you would like to see some of the house thing, it won't take over much of anything from the Crossfire, and I'm gonna have to do it anyways. So if you want me to bring the camera along, we can certainly do that. But anyways, thanks for sticking around and watching, and I guess I'll see you all later.